Good morning, everyone. My goodness, I've just been looking at the prompts on the back of this tag, and we're at prompt number 17, found in the forest, which means after that we have only 6 prompts left till the end of the challenge. What am I going to do after that? I've just had so much fun, and I've been busy every day, and I'm going to have to find new things to do. We guys mustn't lose touch. We must all keep in touch. I think that's quite important. Let's subscribe to each other so that we don't get lost in the mists. Right, so today's prompt, well, it's actually yesterday's prompt, is found in the forest, and I'm doing an experiment, so bear with me while I tell you what it's all about. This is going to be the background, because I've got that lovely twiggy stencil on here, you know, showing all the little tiny brush twigs kind of thing, kind of what you would see on the forest floor. So that's the background, and what I have done is I've picked up some fallen leaves in the garden, which is allowed because we live in a forest. We live in the largest man-made forest in the southern hemisphere in this part of the world, so that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Anyway, what I'm doing here is I've picked up these leaves. They are not quite crisp, so I don't know, you might remember, you might not have been around, but a little while ago I was complaining a little bit about a liquid matte medium that I had bought, which wasn't very matte. It was inclined to be a bit shiny, so I then went and bought my good old favorite to use instead. But I've got this now slightly shiny liquid matte medium lying around waiting to be used. So I picked up these leaves in the garden, and as I say, not quite crisp yet, but getting there, and I'm painting them with the matte medium, because I'm kind of hoping that if I do this right and put several coats on them back and front, they might actually be preserved and not fall apart on the page. So it's worth a try, isn't it? I mean, this is a prompt journal, so that I'm yet to put together, by the way. I have mentioned in the past that I want to do a journal. It's what I've been up to. So I will be doing that as a keepsake, because this has been the most exciting thing I've done since I opened my channel to date, because I've made so many new friends. I've had so much interesting stuff to do. I have learnt so much, so I'm really going to miss this. We'll have to think of something else to do. As they age. And there we have it. What I'm also going to do with them is mess around a little bit with some paint, you know, bring some more interesting colors onto them, because they're all pretty much of a muchness at this point. and yeah, we'll see what happens, won't we? This is fun. Okay, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need an uneven number. I should go out and pick up one more, and then we have a decent choice. Well, the mixed, what's it? The liquid matte medium seems to have worked. If you see, there are the leaves. They're very, very shiny though. But then my excuse is going to be, well, you know, the wet forest floor perhaps. But that really has brought the colors up, and as I say, it's pretty flexible. No sign of cracking, no dry crackling noises. So I think we might have done it, folks. Now this is as far as I've got. I've put a little group of red toadstools at the bottom there, and this magnificent leaf. I just love the colors. It's so rich. So that one went down there. Now what I'm going to do is just attach these as we go, kind of wanting these smaller leaves to look as if they are kind of attached to those twiggies showing in the background there. Don't know how it's, you know, lifelike it's going to be, but the impression is there, so that's fun as far as I'm concerned. And then possibly these big ones will be tucked down at the bottom here, along with the toadstools. So let's get gluing, shall we? I don't mind if they're not stuck down completely all the way around, as long as they are attached. If they're, you know, a little bit dimensional, then that's fine. It adds to the charm. I like those leaves there. Somehow they seem to fit. Perhaps I just have to glue slowly and kind of hold them down and wait for them to attach, which is not going to be very exciting for you guys, is it? Well, I think I've done all right. I decided to add some butterflies because we do have honestly, we do have a lot of butterflies in this neighborhood. So I thought, well, let's add the butterflies. It gives a bit of color and interest to the background, and I'm rather pleased with what my leaves look like, guys. Took me a while holding them down and so on, but they are pretty much glued into place. All I need to do now, I'm waiting for these little guys to dry off a little bit. There's just some finishing touches to do to the detail. Don't know yet if I'm going to use a paintbrush or an acrylic marker, but I'll come back to that, and in the meantime, I can move on with the bird. No prizes for guessing what the bird is, because I'm quite sure you can pick up from here that it's an owl. I just did a rough sketch, and then I've cut templates out for the bird, grabbed a whole lot of scraps, and let's see what transpires. So I don't think you want to sit and watch me carefully tracing out paper out from the templates, but what I'll do is just do the boring, slow moving bits off camera, and then I'll be back. Okay, this took me a little bit longer than I expected, but then I sometimes expect a bit too much. I haven't really done something like this before, so here we go. Anyway, what I did was I googled drawings of owls, and just to get an idea of what I had to look for, you know, when I was doing it. And then I went ahead and sketched it and made myself a little template, and there you see it lying in front of you. Now what I'm doing here is I was talking about doing some shading around the focal image, because I was going to be putting a sort of brightly colored focal image on a brightly colored background. But I'm taking a bit of a shortcut here. I'm hoping it's going to work without looking too disastrous, but I think it will. Just got to blend it out quite nicely here. And because I've created a blurry kind of image, I can glue my owl down on top of that, and hopefully, yes, not have to do quite as much work as I would have to had I not done it this way. So you see, sometimes when you take a chance, you get lucky. I'm sure most of you have heard of the South African golfer Gary Player. I quite liked his expression when people asked him what made him so lucky. He said, well, the harder I practice, the luckier I get. So there we have it. I think I'm practicing quite hard these days. I just thought that this side was not quite so well covered. I quite like the grunging out of this. I don't know what you guys think. Let's just put him back there. Yeah, it's coming along. I want to tell you about the red. You know, the back of his head and his wings. That was one of my first attempts at doing a gel plate. I got one from Temu, just a small one. It's about an A5 size. And I watched a couple of tutorials and tried things out about a year ago now, possibly a little bit longer. And I was quite successful. They turned out quite nicely. So I'm going to be doing them again. And I think once we've completed the challenge, I might do a couple of gel plate or gel print videos. If you guys think that would be interesting, please let me know in the comments box. Okay, I just need to wait for this to dry again, and then I will glue him down and finish him off. I have glued my little brightly colored background down onto a brown paper page and drawn a funny little gnarly branch for the owl to perch on. Now I want to glue him down so that I can start finishing this off. I wonder, I think I can use a glue stick. Reason why I'm wondering is there's a few layers on this little guy, because as I decoupaged every little piece together, there were more and more pieces piling up on each other. Okay, now I have to keep remembering that I need to line him up in his little shadow. There we go. That looks good enough for me. I always double check after I've done a what do you call it? A glue stick gluing down. it escapes me for the moment what Karen calls this. Floating acrylic. That's right. It's the floating acrylic technique. Because you dip your brush in water on one side and paint on the other. I need to go up here. There we go. That looks rather cute, doesn't it? And it does work extremely well. There's just a few little areas to touch up, and then I should be ready to do the next step. And how's our little owl? Done and dusted. I think he's looking rather cute. You'll see that I've accentuated the I can never remember what to call this floating acrylic technique around him to intensify the shading behind him and bring him more to the front. Then I have used my black acrylic marker to put in his feathers on his wings, around his face, and on his kind of little ears. So that's all sorted, and then I outlined the whole bird with the black pen because I think he is rather cartoony, so let's just make him also. Then it's the trusty homemade cardboard stamp on each of the four corners. I decided to just bring some life into the background a little bit, just indicate the background more than what it was like before. So there we have it. That's our bird prompt sorted out. Then of course we've got the found in the forest, all the nice leaves, and I've checked them and they're still nice and supple, so here's hoping that it's worked. So there we have it, this one completed. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, as I always do. This is such fun for me. Okay, so like if you liked the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and remember the comments, because I do so love the comments. That's what shapes my plans in the future always. So until next time, stay safe, stay well, stay warm, and bye bye.